Let's, for a moment, tune into what Matt Walsh, not the funny one, not the funny ha-ha one, just the sort of funny, something's funny with this guy.
I never remember who this guy is.
He's the guy from the Daily Wire, who is highly moralistic, I think, right? And he is like his boss, who is the Pope of the Jews, Ben Shapiro. He is apparently the Pope of who's a great man and who's not a great man, or who should be in any way celebrated, but he, in doing so, and making his assessment as Pope of people's worth, misses the point entirely.
Now I ask you, have we ever seen anything like this before? Many great figures, many icons, many world renowned people, many heroes, right, have died. And there's been moments of silence for them and other symbolic gestures to honor them. Have we ever seen 8 minutes kneeling on the ground to honor anybody? And this is for George Floyd. This is, I think, the most extravagant and solemn memorial we've ever seen politicians give to anybody. And this is for George Floyd. Let me just say, George Floyd, I believe, died unjustly. And that's terrible. A lot of people die unjustly every day, and that's terrible too. His life, no more important than any of theirs.
Pause it for 1 second. When he says that George Floyd died unjustly, and a lot of people die unjustly, do you think that's like sort of diminishing the point that he's trying to make in the first sentence? This is the second sentence. Isn't that a qualifier? Like, I also
I wouldn't, I mean, just even unjustly, it's just, what? And especially coming from, I mean, I'm remembering this guy now. I mean, this guy will use, hyperbole about, I don't even know, a book that he doesn't like being available at a public library is a threat to the foundation of civilizations. But a guy being publicly murdered on the street by a squad of police officers, this is unjust.
There's no doubt in my mind. I don't think this specifically, but this is the type of guy who would do like a 45-minute rant on how they could do Ghostbusters with women or something. It's like one of those things.
Right. That type of guy.
But just to be clear on what he's talking about, he is saying like that people kneeled for 8 minutes or 9 minutes as a way of paying, of celebrating Floyd. I wonder if it's possible that he doesn't know that the reason why people kneeled for 9 minutes is because that's exactly what Chauvin, the cop, did to Floyd with his knee driving into his neck as his face was smushed on the floor, on the concrete.
Very unjust.
I wonder if he understands that. It's not like, this is ostentatious. 9 minutes. Who gets on their knees for 9 minutes for a guy who's not even that good? Keep going.
Every day, and that's terrible too. His life, no more important than any of theirs. They're all important, all inherently valuable, as we discussed. But other than how he died, this was not a great man. There is no evidence that he was a great man or even a good man. So you could be upset about the injustice of it, and that's fine. That's understandable. But turning this man into a martyr and a hero and canonizing him after his death is ridiculous and outrageous and offensive. It is possible, to make the case that someone died unjustly without falling to your knees in worship and adulation and acting like they were great, heroes that should be remembered through the ages. It is possible. It's very possible. So we could go with that strategy.
He doesn't know why people take a knee for 9 minutes. He doesn't get it. And other than the way that how he died, This is just unbelievable to me that you could just ignore how he died. Let's put that aside and then let's assess this. Now, we wouldn't know George Floyd if he had died any other way. And the fact that how he died is representative of a massive multi-century problem that we have in this country that deals with a huge portion of our people.
It's also, he's doing something really, I mean, he probably doesn't even know it, but it's so sinister because, look, the bottom line is that George Floyd could be a great guy, could be a bad guy. It's totally irrelevant. And I'm actually sure that, like most human beings, he was some combination of the latter. What has happened as a result of his murder, in addition to it galvanizing this much bigger uprising, is that people who remember him as someone that they loved, a friend, a family member, have actually been able to primarily talk about him. Unlike in countless other cases, and I'm always thinking of Giuliani, New York, where the police murder an Amadou Diallo and these people leak their juvenile records, or use the media and a police PR budget and public office to demonize and besmirch them. And again, the point I'm trying to make is that in the bigger picture, honestly, it's irrelevant. It simply does not matter whether you're the greatest person or the biggest jerk in the world. You can't be murdered by a police officer. But it's also that they resent that they don't get to dictate and try to demonize and belittle the narrative. The young man that was murdered in Ferguson, I mean, they even did this to Trayvon Martin. He was a fucking child.
Right.
And this one does not get to be, it is being determined by his community and by family, who are, of course, remembering the many ways in which obviously he was a wonderful person. Just in the same, like in his fully fleshed out humanness. They want to demonize him. That's the script.
All right, we got to take a break and head into the fun half of the program. Just a reminder, it's your support that